Where did you get that?
My husband.
Yeah, I was going to say that's new. Yeah, that's beautiful.
Isn't she gorgeous?
It's quartz.
Rose quartz.
Yeah. Did he get that in Salem?
No, this was a Christmas present.
That's a nice Christmas gift.
Yeah, it's beautiful. He also got me a piece of citrine necklace.
Ooh.
And a tiger's eye necklace.
Okay.
And he got Evie a fluorite bracelet.
Coming for, yeah. I love all that.
All right, so let's welcome everybody. And then...
Okay, all right.
Welcome. 1, 2, 3, 4, giddy up.
Out the door. Okay.
I was going to say giddy up, whore. You guys, we're here.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Welcome to Two Mystic Mamas. Oh, dear. Dear, dear.
Fogged up me glasses on that one.
Season 3 is off to a rip-roaring start.
Listen, today's episode is all about a little bit different kind of rebellion, so I'm actually here for it.
Yeah, I am here for it too.
It's not the rebellion that we sought in our 20s. It's a little bit different these days.
Yeah. I don't even think it was like mainstream or even something that was remotely on my radar. I definitely was of that culture where it was like you move into your 20s and what is going on with the power?
Things are... People have got shit to say to us.
I mean, okay.
Listen, we're on the right path because I don't know if you remember this or not, but when we first started this and we were talking about doing the podcast and we're like, okay, we're going to go to our separate corners and we're going to ask our team of light for signs. We're going to talk to our spirit guides. I specifically asked that I be given the sign that if we're supposed to go in this direction of doing the podcast in the form of light, that a light would illuminate, something would guide the way. And about 4 days later, out of nowhere, my oven light just popped on. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And we talk about this.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I do remember.
One of the early episodes. And then it never worked again. It still doesn't work. But now this light has similarly been off, not working for quite some time.
But I feel like it was that light and both of these lights too. Like, I feel like we got like a big surge. I mean, I'm here for it.
Yeah, we're supported, divinely supported.
Electricity is one of the easiest ways for spirit to communicate because it's all energy on energy on energy. So I love that. I love that for us. Anyways, I think there's a lot that goes into this and I am here for it too because, you know, we're midlife, right? So we're in our 40s and when we were in our 20s, it was like, rebel, 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 party, 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 do what you can, like just like kind of go balls to the walls in a more destructive way.
Right. Like you weren't living your 20s unless you pulled your drunk friend out of a taxi cab who was sucking face with some guy.
Right. And like just taking random drugs from people at a club. And it was just like this whole, I mean, that wasn't something I did, but
clearly
I had plenty of friends. Like I still have never been to a rave. And like, there are plenty of stories that I have heard from close friends about raves. Yeah. And that was just nuts. I guess I just was not hanging with the cool people. I don't know.
I lived that rave life for a little bit.
Yeah, I never did. But like, just in general, like it just seems to just not be part of this new generation. And I think it's because there is a lot more information about how to honor our bodies, how to like really prioritize health and how important that is to like your longevity. And also, I think that this culture, this generation is more interested in finding out answers and breaking cycles of trauma than before. So I feel like our generation really started this whole trend too. Like it did stem from us.
Right. But not even until we were in our 30s.
No, but I remember like asking questions about, like, again, I grew up Catholic. And so when I went to college, I was still going to church every Sunday, but I was still going to church. I was still making that part of my practice. But then I started like taking classes about Christianity and it started me thinking about just questioning the religion as a whole.
Right.
You know, I went to a major university where there was tons of other religion, and I wasn't exposed to that growing up in my predominantly small ass white farm town, right? And so then that brought a different level of, oh, well, that's really interesting. And I was always just curious. I've always been a curious type person.
Same.
And I love to ask questions, which I found would be triggering from time to time, depending on who you ask those questions about. I also was at this point where I started really recognizing relationships that had been what I felt like were stable constants in my life, and really looking at like the inner workings. Like my grandparents didn't live together, but they were devout Catholics. And I was like, why is that happening? Right? Because their marriage was really challenging and had a lot of issues. So I was like asking questions to my grandparents, like, well, what happened? Like, how did this break down? And
so let me ask you though, did they answer those questions?
yes.
See, that's good, because like when I ask questions, you just get shut down.
Yes.
There's no transparency there.
So my grandparents were very open. My Nana was more open than my grandpa, but my grandpa would answer questions. Now they weren't together, right? So it was like a safe space because they didn't trigger each other. And then some of my relatives would answer questions, but then other times it was not something that was welcomed.
It's interesting because I feel like we had similar but very different experiences. I, from a very young age, didn't want anything to do with organized religion because I had experiences where I saw people hide behind it. And I was like, this is not for me. Like I knew from like our kids' age that I wasn't interested in any sort of organized religion. And we talked about this in previous episodes where I really put myself kind of through the paces of going to different churches and putting myself through that to understand what it was like. But I always sought that like spiritual inner peace part of myself. And I've kind of always just been very like march to the own beat of my drum.
You were talking about just finding that intuition very early on about how you felt about organized religion in general.
Well, and non-conforming. And I think that like a lot of people have that religious base, right?
Right. And they're born into it. It's just
right that then they question later on.
Yes.
Where my path was a little bit different.
Yes.
I think that like these 20-year-olds now, Kara, looking at you, have so much more drive to be intentional about who they are and following their passion early in life, where I think we were just kind of thrown into this culture where things weren't explained to us.
No.
Mental health wasn't fucking talked about.
Correct.
You were supposed to do as you were told, seen and not be heard, basically.
And one of the goals we do have for this season is to bring on folks from different religions, because the thing that is fascinating to me just in general is like the history, but also the practices and the rituals that go into this, right? Because you know, going back to a little bit to just like my family dynamic and breaking some of the generational chains, and some of them are mine to break and some of them weren't. Like I have family on my father's side that like nobody really talks to anybody. And some could say that that is not a good thing. But at the same time, for me, it's like everybody's keeping the peace because they're holding their peace to a certain level, and it's allowing us to all have our own life experiences without the drama. Because, you know, that toxic behavior and having that drama, especially around the holidays, I could do without, right? Like growing up, you'd go to these, you know, family reunions, or you would go to like the holidays, and there would always be fucking drama. And it was like just to be expected. And I think we also reach a point where it's like, that's not enjoyable. You know, and this generation that's coming up, like our generation, again, like I think it started with us where we have gotten to the point where we're like, we don't want to keep repeating that.
Right.
So I do really love seeing this generation owning their power and just being like, yeah, I'm not going to do this. Like I'd much rather hang with my chosen family. And sometimes chosen family and real family are the same.
Right.
Right? Like,
but they don't always overlap.
They don't always overlap. And, you know, I have troubled relations with my brothers and their significant others. And it is not something that like we don't not talk about, but we just are at this point where we're all raising our kids. And so we just lay down our piece about it and we just acknowledge the fact that we're in seasons where the personalities that exist, they're oil and water. And that's okay. We don't need to force something to come together. Everybody can do their own thing and we can send text messages and we can still send love, but we don't need to just like mush it all together.
Well, I think this is such a huge lesson for people that are especially in our generation. You do not have to have toxic people in your life just because you're related to them by blood. I know we are breaking chains, but it seems like the people that are like Kira's age, like she is like such a prime example of such a wonderfully round, wonderful human who has so much purpose and drive and wisdom at such a young age.
Yep. And influencers. You see a lot of these TikTok influencers too.
But people also, influencers are being called out on their shit, right? Because for a while now, it's been like, you should do this. You should be this. Here's 5 easy steps to be X, Y, and Z, right? It's like you're constantly a fucking project.
Mm-hmm.
And people are shutting that down now. And they're choosing themselves. And it, as much shit as people give the younger generation, it's starting with them.
Yes.
Like, I mean, I see it too with like Charlie's students. They are great freaking humans. They're great people. I see it with my students, and they're not like choosing to highlight their life on social media the way that like our generation has, or the people older than us.
Mm-hmm.
It's really cool to see though.
Yeah.
I love it so much.
Yeah.
And part of that is choosing inner peace.
Yes. Yeah. And really acknowledging what makes you you and what makes you unique, instead of looking at what people are telling you, to your point, makes you unique.
Right.
You know, it's all that experimenting and that like figuring out and trying things out and doing hobbies and going out and exploring the world and seeing what your city has to offer and meeting new people, but also being curious and asking questions. And so I remember even when I was growing up, and what I loved, because there's certain things about growing up in organized religion that bring me so much joy, and that the memories I have are awesome. It really wasn't until I was older where I started questioning things, where I was like, that just does not vibe, because I was growing, I was maturing, I was exploring the world, I was seeing things, and I was putting pieces together like a puzzle. And I was like, well, that doesn't track. That's weird. And,
right.
You know, I can only speak from my own experience, but when you start questioning things within the Catholic Church, that's like a no-no. That's like a frowned upon thing. And that was my first red flag that I was like, this probably isn't going to be for me. Like,
right.
I am going to find myself in a constant battle of feeling let down, not understood, because there wasn't people that really genuinely wanted to answer. They just wanted to tell me what it was.
Right.
And that was it. Right. And so I think this generation, especially too, has just come up with having us and folks that are maybe like 10, 15 years older than us answer those questions, because it started with us also like starting to this whole like, let's just put it out there. Like, let's have discussions about it. Let's figure this out. Let's work through this. And so, you know, raising 3 humans too, like my kids have brought up religion because my mom has always said, I just think they need that sense of community. And I think there is something to that.
I was literally just going to say the one piece of organized religion that I think is really beautiful is community.
Yes.
If you could create that without all of the bullshit and the bias and the business that goes along with it.
Yes.
I'm all in.
Yes. Yep.
But when we are organizing to tell other people that they're wrong for their beliefs, I'm fucking out.
Yep. I agree. And the whole business making thing and that the business part of it.
Catholic religion is the fucking biggest business out there.
Well, I think they've been trumped by big church, whatchamacallits, whatever they're called, the conglomerates.
Oh, the mega churches?
The mega churches, yeah.
I don't know about that. The Catholics have a stronghold on the whole world. But we digress as we back slowly away from the religion chat.
Let's back it up.
What trends do you think we're going to see in 2026 on how people are reclaiming their peace and really honoring themselves in a new way? Because I can tell you, I feel like a completely different person than I did the beginning of December. There has been a huge shift in my own energy. I am unfuckwittable right now. Like, astrologically, I know a lot of like things have changed. Cycles have come to a close.
Yeah.
And
Gemini's, this is
so good.
Yes.
And I feel soft. I don't feel hard. I'm like, I'm light. Like, I feel like I should be feeling.
Yes.
It feels so good.
Yes. I think it's the trifecta of the mind, body, soul. I think people are more hyper aware of that trifecta. So it's how do they nurture those different sides of themselves?
Well, and putting it into practice every day.
Correct. So I get this deep sense that just working with energy in general is going to be a huge push for people. People are getting more curious about energy. They're getting more curious about manifesting. They're getting more curious about like their planets and the zodiac. So I think it's just this huge, and this is more of the spiritual side of things, but I do believe that people are seeing magic happen every day, and they're seeing signs that they can't explain happen every day. And there's just this shift of how do we incorporate that into daily practice, and it's simple things like lighting a candle, putting intentions into the water that you drink. Like, we've talked a lot about this in 2025, right? So a lot of these can be referenced and incorporated into 2026. But I just feel this overwhelming of having this real connection with ourselves internally, but also with other humans. And I think that has been a big thing for me, is just how do I find the authenticity in conversations, and how do I continue? Okay, I see you're down with that. Okay. That's now I see a little flickering happening up there. And I think there's a lot of just touching on the whole like sobriety piece of it too, where this generation is not so much down with the alcohol, and even like the alcohol companies are shifting too. Like, after a hard day, I love having an adult beverage, whether it's a beer, a glass of wine. But I also love all of the options that exist now that have zero alcohol, because it's not the alcohol, it's the ritual of having the beverage, right? And so you have all of these awesome options now where like
can make a mocktail.
A mocktail, for me, making anything cocktail wise, that's just like too much fucking effort. I just want to grab something out of my fridge, but it can be a sparkling water. But the other day we were at the John Eagle, and they had Peroni, which is like one of my favorite beers, and they had non-alcoholic Peroni. And I was like, yes, thank you. This is great. So
yeah, I mean, I grew up in a house where like my mom would drink at social events, like wine, margarita, cocktails, like that kind of stuff. Nobody in my family was like big drinkers at all.
Your dad has never drank alcohol.
Yeah, he doesn't drink at all. Zero.
I mean, it's unheard of.
It is unheard of. I mean, literally zero. And he's been like that my whole life. My whole life. And he said when he was young, he remembered like trying alcohol, drinking, whatever, and he hated the way it made him feel. So he just never drank.
Yep.
But he does like the taste of a beer. So on like Christmas or something like that, he'll get like the O'Doul's.
But there's so many better options now than O'Doul's.
Yeah, he doesn't like them.
Yeah.
He's tried a couple.
Yeah.
He just likes the...
Yeah. I just think
Old
they
Faithful.
have the great options now.
It is. And I remember my whole life growing up hearing him say, I don't need alcohol to have fun.
No, correct.
And I think people are finding that there's so many young people now that are talking about sobriety, where sobriety used to be something that was attached to people that had issues.
Addiction. Correct.
Addiction issues. And now it is it's a terminology that's used amongst people of all ages to be like, I'm choosing me.
It's a choice. And I think that again goes back to some of these generational traumas, whether it's past life or it's this current life, that young folks are choosing to not repeat.
People want to be free.
Yeah.
And they just want to fly free. When you drink, even if it's one drink, you change. Part of you changes.
Mm-hmm.
And for some people, it's an escape. For some people, it is an excuse. It's all over the place, right? But when you're not drinking and you can allow yourself to sit with who you are or sit with what's going on, I think you have a whole different perspective that allows you to be more authentic.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that 100%. And growing up in the household I did, where entertaining was so ingrained, that I always associate alcohol with a good time, right? I wouldn't necessarily say it's an escape or an excuse, maybe a little bit of both, depending, but it was always like wine with a nice meal, and you'd always have like a beer or a cocktail with hors d'oeuvres. Like it was always associated with like one part of like the whole night.
Right.
And so for me, sometimes that has been a little bit of a challenge to unravel that belief and choose to really understand that alcohol really is poison, especially now that my body is changing so much with perimenopause. And I'm just like, I feel a lot like I'm all over the board. And some of that I can't control because I don't have the answers right now as to like what's all over the board and why is it all out of whack. But then when it comes to like the food I put in my body and the beverages I choose, that is a choice. And I've talked about this on the podcast before too. Like, I think that's just a place that I will continue to work on and continue to choose depending on the event and what have you. But I want to choose better.
Right.
So,
well, I think we get into this place as humans where we lie to ourselves about the choices that we're making without realizing we're lying to ourselves. And it can be alcohol, that can be time management, that can be food choices, that can be literally anything. If we look at our lives, we are where we are because of the choices we've made in the past. Like, yes, do I try to eat healthy? Do I try to eat clean? Yes. But I would be lying to myself if I didn't say that the reason that I carry extra weight is because I don't log every single thing I eat and I snack and I do this and I do that. Right. So I think one of the things I'm personally getting away from is not lying to myself anymore. Because like, what is that going to do? It's not going to help me.
Well, and I think it goes back to that self-love concept too, that I agree with you. I think, but then also sometimes I'm like, that's a lot of pressure. Like, especially when we already have like so much on our plate.
I disagree in the way that we're going to have pressure one way or the other. We get to choose where we apply it. So like, yes, do we have a ton on our plate? Yes. Are we creating more issues for ourselves by lying to ourselves? And like, for me, living in an unhealthy body because I'm creating other issues that I'm going to have to deal with eventually.
No, and that is true.
I mean, it's going to be hard either way. Yeah. And I have you are never going to change your life unless you can stop lying to yourself and change your choices in the moment every single day.
Or stop lying to yourself and just say, I'm choosing this because.
Well, that's one of the things I've reframed too, because for a long time, my mindset was, I should be doing this. I should be doing that. And now it's, I choose to. I choose to do this because it makes me feel good.
Yep.
I choose to do this because it's aligned with my spiritual goals.
I think that's really important. I think that actually is a fantastic message, is in that instead of the should, it's the I choose.
Because we're all at choice. We're all at choice in every single moment. And
our lives, the way they are right now, are made up of every single moment that's led up to this.
Yes. Yep.
So we have chosen, whether we've done it consciously or we've done it out of fear or we've done it subconsciously, we have chosen where we're at in life.
Yes.
And this can go with our financial choices too. If you're like, oh, I budget, I don't spend a lot of money or whatever, and you're, buying McDonald's or whatever, like it can go for anything. If we're not keeping track of like our Netflix subscriptions and our like whatever.
Yeah. And, that kind of goes into this whole adulting is hard. And some might say that this is hell, right? Because you have to do all these things and it's just constant, right? Like you're never not going to be making choices. You're never not going to be having a dilemma in front of you or having a path that you're having to figure out which way you want to go down. And I think sometimes that also is why people, that old saying of like, I don't care where we go to dinner. And it's like, okay, well, let's go get Thai. No, I don't want Thai. So you do care where we go to dinner.
Right.
Like you do care, right? But then it also sometimes at the end of the day, I know with just the season of life that I'm in with the kids, I seriously sometimes can't make decisions. Like I just have no brain power left. And I'm like, I don't actually fucking care. You make the decision. You make the call. And when I say that, I genuinely mean that.
Right.
There is no, like, I will be like, sounds great. And because to your point about like, we have choices and sometimes, yeah, I choose to eat the chicken nuggets and I choose because I don't feel like fucking making a healthy meal for myself. I'm like, nope.
Well, and then I've been putting myself in the place of like, okay, well, I'm at choice before any of this ever happens. I'm at choice to prepare stuff and have it ready so that when the schedule gets hard, I have something healthy that I can choose.
And I just had a big download come through that when we set ourselves up for success, and this goes back to the mind, body, soul thing, this has to do with the body. Sleep is critical. So if you're in a season where like you're not prioritizing sleep, you're having trouble with sleep, get that sorted.
It makes a huge difference.
That out. Because I know that, and this also goes back to like choosing to drink. If I choose to have beverages at night, it's also why I like day drinking a lot more than I like drinking at night. It fucks up my next day. And not necessarily because I have a hangover. I'm just tired. Like I don't sleep as well if I have alcohol in my system when I go to bed. But I know that to that point about like choosing me before I choose anybody else, that's a conscious, like I have to set my energy up for that. And even when the kids go back to school, like drinking on a Sunday night, that most of the time is a dumb choice because it's just going to set me up for like having to rush and not be as well rested.
Right.
So
I don't know. I mean, we didn't drink at all. I mean, I even bought stuff for mimosas. We didn't drink at all during the holidays. I didn't drink Christmas Eve. I didn't drink Christmas Day. I mean, we did a whole sober summer.
Yes.
And we've talked about that. We're just not big drinkers, but it definitely makes a difference in how you feel. Sleep is really important. So 10 years ago, I was terrible at sleep. I was wildly stressed out. I was a single mom and I was burning the candle at literally every end. Like I would work all day long and then I would come home, get Evie sorted. She was like a baby, right? And get her to bed. My dad would come over and he would sit here and I would go Uber until 3 or 4 in the morning. And then I would come home and get up at 7 and I would do it all over again with her.
Yeah.
And I did this for a long time.
Yeah.
And I was either Ubering or I was editing images or I was doing something and I was working so hard. And I went into ventricular tachycardia and then having a heart ablation in July of 2015. And it was like, I have to get my sleep sorted. I have to get my stress levels under control. Like I was so unhealthy.
Yeah.
I carried probably 60 less pounds then than I do right now. But so many parts of my life were so wildly unhealthy because I was under a huge amount of chronic stress.
Yes.
In every way that you could imagine, going through
stuff that was mine, stuff that wasn't mine.
Yes.
Like it was just 2015 was a wild time
Yeah.
for Kristen. And I remember I had a Fitbit at the time. And I remember waking up one morning and it was like, you slept an hour and 26 minutes last night. And I was like, oh, that's a fucking problem.
Yes.
Like, that is a problem.
Yep.
And once I got everything sorted, I was able to get off heart medication and like all the things, and I wasn't like struggling.
Yeah.
But sleep was a big part of that. And now I get like 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night. We know I'm not a napper. I'm fine with it. But in 2025, I did learn how to rest my body. Even though I don't like to sleep during the day, I've found ways to take time to rest. I put my phone away.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am a napper.
It looks different for every person. So I guess my message is find what works for you.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I would change is finding a way to get up even earlier. I would like to wake up consistently at 5 a.m. and our nighttime schedule is too hectic to do that, and me still get like 7 hours of sleep. So I'm still working that part out.
Yes.
And maybe that's just not the season of life that we're in, that I can get up that early.
Yeah. I think those are fun things to think about, in the sense that like you're realistic about them, right? Because I have always been a sleeper. My nickname growing up was Sleeping Beauty. Like I never liked to get up early, and I still don't. It's still like I just am wired the way I am. But I do get up during the week consistently at 7, sometimes 6:30. And that always feels good because it gives me a little bit of me time before the day really gets started and gets off the ground. And so I think that lesson is true, that, okay, maybe you can't do 5, but you can do 7, and then at some point, because the other thing too, as we age, we need less sleep.
Yeah. I mean, we typically wake up, like the alarm goes off at 6.
Yeah. Jeff's goes off at 6:30. Sometimes though, he gets up, he has an internal clock. So he doesn't really even need his alarm clock. I do. I still need the alarm clock. And I am the one type of sleeper that my alarm will go off. I'll buzz it. I'll fall right back asleep, get right into a dream. Alarm will go off 10 minutes later. I'll buzz it. I'll do this for like an hour. Hopefully I'm not the only one out there that can do that. But, oh, no, you do that? Okay, good. Thanks, Kira. But just in general, like sleep is like so critical. So I think this generation also prioritizes sleep, and like they make sanctuaries for themselves. Like I never remember in my 20s being like, how do I make my bed? It was like if I had a pillow and a blanket and a mattress, I was good. You know what I mean?
I've definitely slept in a bathtub or two in my 20s.
So like I think that to your point about like, come have a cozy night at home with me, it's like making that safe space.
Right.
Too.
Well, they're confronting core issues head on.
Yes. Yeah.
In a completely different way.
I love it. And I want it to continue. And I think it's so just important in general that you have these rituals and you have that time. This past year has been such a transformative year for me with my kids that they now know I'm going to go do a meditation. I never said I'm going to go do a meditation 2 years ago. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's having that downtime where maybe I don't nap, but I rest my body. I rest my mind. I get into a place where I'm like, especially if I feel overwhelmed or I'm like losing my shit, I can be like, I'm going to go take space and I'm going to do a meditation, or I'm going to go take space and just do whatever I want without feeling guilt associated with it. Like maybe it's a bath, maybe it's a nap, maybe it's just me taking a walk around the neighborhood. Like it's just something that has become a part of my spiritual journey and how it helps, again, that mind, body, soul, because it really is that trifecta that is so interconnected. You really, when you combine the 3 of those things together, it just supports each other. They're like pillars,
right.
Like a triangle,
Well, and I would implore people to set your life up in a way that supports those habits.
Yes.
Make it easy for yourself. One of the things that I asked for Christmas was a walking pad for my desk, because I have
I saw it out there.
Stand-up desk. It's so great.
Yes.
It has wheels on it, so I've been like rolling it around the living room and like hanging with my family and walking. It's so great. But I'm like,
I can just like hop on there and get some extra steps or whatever.
Yeah.
Whenever I want. And it just makes me feel better.
Yes. I
got 10,000 steps on Christmas and I didn't leave my house.
No, that's so good. This is another thing I've been doing. So I want to put this out there because maybe someone else can relate to this. I have goals and then I set them up mentally before I do them physically. And what I mean by that is I have wanted to really start lifting weights and not like bench pressing weights, just like hand weights and doing like motions and just doing those sort of moments while I'm having downtime. So whether that's watching TV, mostly watching TV or relaxing on the couch when we're together as a family. So I've taken the steps. So now my weights are in the living room. So they're visible. They're no longer in the basement. I have downloaded a bunch of these like little 30-second clips of people doing different exercises that I can pull up quickly on my phone that I've saved. And so it makes it so when it happens and I have that, remember why you're doing this, I can be like, oh, but I'm already set to go. I have a video that I can do and I have the weights right there. So I don't know. I'm just putting that out there that I think it's like taking small steps.
It definitely makes a huge difference. And this is something I do a lot of goal setting with my students on how to get them to practice more. And one of the things is just get it out. Just get your instrument out and that's it. And for Evie, she has a bass stand in her room. So her bass sits out so it's visible for her.
Yes.
And then she picks it up and plays it way more than she will her saxophones.
Mm-hmm.
Like she has to be reminded more of that. So I've been looking actually for like a double sax stand for her.
Okay.
So she can have both of them out in her room as well.
Yeah.
Because it makes a huge difference when it's out.
Yes.
And you can see it, like my piano, like same thing.
Yes. I was watching the New Heights podcast the other day and they had Kylie on and they were asking her about whether or not they thought different gifts were good for men who struggle to buy gifts for their partners. And one of them was exercise equipment. And Kylie was like, unless they explicitly asked for something, absolutely not.
I made sure to say I asked for that walking pad so people didn't
go right.
Construe.
And then Jason goes, well, I mean, what if you like bought them clothes, but you bought them a size smaller? And I'm thinking, what kind of fucking Christmas do you want to have, homie? And she was like, no, do not do that. Do not do that.
Oh, that's how you
like
get
a subliminal, like a subliminal message, like, well, maybe you should lose a few pounds and they'll fit into this. What? That for me, I would be like so angry and offended. I'd be like,
I would be like, get out.
Don't you love me and my body the way it is? Like, I was thinking, thank you, Kylie. I
would hand it right back.
You can just see yourself out of here now, sir.
Yeah, you can fuck right off with that.
But she had really good ideas. They were like, what about makeup? And she's like, well, yeah, I mean, I would recommend going to the store and having them pull up the account and see what they've bought in the past year so you have an idea. Just don't go buy makeup. But I'm thinking that was a good thought.
Charlie's really good at that too. Like he needs to be told explicitly, but then when he gets in that mindset,
yes,
he's good. So,
oh my God, speaking of,
we have a gift from my husband.
I'm so glad
And I have a feeling I know exactly where it came from.
Okay. I'm excited.
Okay, so the lovely artist that he got this from. And she used to have these great statement necklaces. Well, I go to her Instagram page and I find out that she cleanses, puts intention, hand chooses everything, puts it together, all of her jewelry.
What?
My husband has gotten something for both of us.
Oh, my. What is this person's name?
Okay, so it's made by Barbara C. Pellegrino, BCP Jewelry.
Okay.
And so
Barbara.
they're cleansed and sent with like all the best vibes. And she hand selects like with intention.
Okay.
So.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Wait. Ooh. Oh my God. I bet they're the same.
Oh my God.
They're the same. Oh my God.
Charlemagne.
That is,
It is a
so amazing.
Quartz crystal necklace with all the chakras.
What?
I know.
What?
I really love my husband.
I mean, I really love your husband.
I know. I mean, your husband also got us an amazing gift for Christmas.
He did.
A joint gift.
Yes.
We are some lucky ladies.
That gift is more, that's so
It's
Jeff.
such a practical, wonderful gift, though. He got us lapel mics.
Yes, for our lives.
Yeah.
So he's always supporting us in a tech fashion. Oh my God.
I don't think I can get this on. My arm is still. I can't like twist.
Well, this
my
is a
arm.
good look. My dumbass did it around the mic.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Obsessed. Our husbands get some awards.
But
Oh, you want to tell them the story about being on the phone the other day?
yeah, well,
Let's talk about some awards, guys.
so kidoki. We talk about this a little bit on a separate podcast that I am in a drought season financially, but I'm here for it. It's not a curse. It's not a negative. It's just, but it is very much
It's
like
a flow of
where
energy.
we are,
Yeah.
right? And so I kept things like real limited this Christmas. And Emmeline was on the phone with Evie. They were FaceTiming as they do all the time. And Emmeline had said how Jeff had gotten me some presents for Christmas, and he is a very good gift giver. And then she said, yeah, but my mom didn't get my dad anything. And I was like, oh no, au contraire. I do get your father presents. I give them to him at night. And anytime I talk about sex at all, Emmeline's always like, oh, whatever. She starts losing her mind. And then Evie's like, what'd she say? And then Emmeline's like, oh my God. So she repeats it. And Evie's like, Rachel. And I was like, your parents do the same thing. Don't even front.
And Evie's like, Rachel gives Jeff presents at night. I was like, Jesus.
This is the jokes, folks. But these aren't jokes. This is like real life. Though I will tell you, having kids home on break all the time, well, it makes it a little bit of a challenge.
I know you got to wake up in the middle of the night. That's the key when they're sleeping.
Well, Rachel doesn't do that. Rachel values her sleep over booty all the time. Sorry.
Yeah, no, middle of the night last night, I woke up and I was like, yep, well, because before we went to bed, he was like, oh my God, we are never going to have sex on winter break. And then I woke up at like whatever time middle of the night and I was like, oh,
But
yes,
had you not woken up, then it wouldn't have happened.
Well, clearly we can't
Well,
have
did you
sex
see-
while we're sleeping.
Well, now that would be a trick.
You know what? Let's just fall asleep like this and we'll see what happens.
I also, that whole,
It'd be
no.
oh my God, what is
I don't
the
like-
Mormons call it? Oh God, what is it? Fuck. It's soaking. They call it soaking.
I
And they
thought
will
that's where they put
they'll-
their dicks in a tailpipe.
No. What? What? What kind of fucking Mormon shit are you into?
I'm
What?
pretty sure soaking is, they put...
Next on Mechanic Mormons, guys.
What?
No, they put their penis inside of the vagina, but they're not allowed to move. So then they have people jump on the bed.
No! No. That's not real.
It's fucking real.
What? The
Even Karen knows about it. Wait, can we go back to the fact that you thought it was okay for them to put their dick in a tailpipe?
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Okay, we'll just ask Siri.
I am not putting this in my
What
Google
is the
search
definition
history.
of soaking by Mormon standards? Soaking is a sexual practice of inserting the penis into the vagina, but not subsequently thrusting or ejaculating, reportedly used by some Mormons, also known as the members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. A
You
form
look
of
so-
sexual intercourse without thrusting?
You look so... Yeah, they're not allowed to move, so you look so
Why?
offended that there's no tailpipe involved.
Who came up with that? See, this is... what the fuck is wrong with people? Okay, we just need to table this. I can't. We just need to not talk about it anymore.
Are you sure you don't want to talk about soaking?
No,
so much?
I am positive. All right, so just, coming back to this episode and where we were at. That was on topic, you know. So, the shifts. We've seen some shifts, generational shifts. We're going to continue to support you guys in your shifts. Please don't soak. That sounds like a dumb, unenjoyable, stupid ritual that you need to unlearn for all the reasons.
Find your passion. Find your pap smear.
Oh my God, what if they played the Jaws theme?
What?
Coming in for a soak.
Oh my God.
He plays, that song plays.
Dun-dun.
And then once penetration happens, no movement. Silence.
Oh,
I just don't understand
they should
this
soak
at
on
all.
a boat. Then they wouldn't need as many people
Soak
involved.
on a boat.
Boats and hoes.
How do you make a soak better? You do it
You
on
do
a
it
boat.
soak boat.
Soak boat. I can't. I don't even know. How do we come back from this?
We don't. We just stay on the soak boat forever. Episode is newly entitled "Welcome to the Soak Boat."
Oh my God! Yes. Oh, God bless. We do have to wrap this up. I think we are on a spiral.
Think?
We're like, what's that called? In the middle of the ocean? A whirlpool? Yeah, we're in a whirlpool.
Rachel is once again in a polar vortex in the middle of the ocean.
In Tulum. The polar vulture. Polar vulture.
Polar vulture right in Tulum, guys. You know what? Thank you for coming to Two Mystic Mamas. Once again, this might be our last episode. Thanks for joining us.
Bye. Bye.